Kamala Harris's appointment means that the United States of America believes women of color and women in general to be capable and qualified leaders, and that means a lot.
Every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities.
When the election was finally counted and Biden and Kamala Harris had won, I was just like crying. I was really worried that after we had this sort of regression of Trump, we wouldn't keep pushing forward.
As a white guy who's all my life seen people who look like me in television and in politics, I don't think it redefines the parameters of what I think I can accomplish in life, but I do think it's a great step for the country.
I think it's important to recognize the significance of her being vice president, and I think it's a step in a direction that will help so many people and improve our country.
I think that growing up in the Trump era kind of made my whole generation a lot more pessimistic about what they could achieve. We see the president is supposed to be somebody who's respected and somebody who's the voice of the nation saying these like despicable things.
The road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready.
The Biden campaign kind of realized that they needed a black woman who could be seen as a quote-unquote girl boss in order to run and get the black voter turnout that they expected and needed in order to be put in the White House. I think that Kamala was just a really logical option.
I feel like there's going to be a lot more opportunities for anybody whose identity has been criticized, for anybody who's felt like they couldn't succeed in a Trump America. I think that's a really awesome thing to feel.
I am slightly nervous about the inauguration simply because the terrorist attacks prove that these people will stop at nothing. I would not put it past them to try and attack and stop the inauguration in some way.
They're still angry, and I'm sure there'll be protests at the inauguration.
Also the fact that they are kind of being brushed off and their treatment for these things, let's say compared to like Black Lives Matter protesters, is also crazy. I don't know what's going to happen, and it's scary that these people are out there with these views.
I hope this can be an event that we remember in the future positively as the start of more change instead of something which could result in a fight. I just think we should be thinking about what's going to last in history and to want to be on the right side of history.
I'm more worried about Trump running in 2024 with a base of white supremacists than I really am with this inauguration being intercepted.
What I'm excited to see them do right now is their take on COVID compared to Trump's and how much of an improvement it will be and how that will affect everyone.
The first thing that I want to see them do in office is push anything that could be considered radical, anything that genuinely helps the minorities that put them in these offices in the first place. I want them to prove me wrong, that they aren't just going to uphold the status quo in office and they're actually going to create real change that can impact the people who need it the most.
I hope that a woman is going to be president. I hope that a person of color can be president again. And I think that one thing we need to address is this country's issue with women in office. And I think we saw that a lot in the 2016 election with Hillary, where she was called unlikable and bossy and shrill and all these words that are never applied to men.
I don't know what's going to happen in 4 years. I think she'd be a good president. I'd support her. I'd be able to vote then.
I've always known that I'm capable of achieving anything, but I think Kamala Harris's appointment simply proves that I have support and that other people believe in me as much as I believe in myself.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.